All right, so we'd like to welcome you guys to night one of the First Gen College Workshop Series. And this is the first time that we are actually having this series at the school. And the idea was given to us from our parents club, the Wilford family, who used to be the co-presidents of the club or the council. Thought it would be a good idea for us to kind of do some college workshops that just has basic information about college planning. We do a lot of workshops with financial aid, and we have a workshop that shows up in the fall, which is called the College Application Crash Course. And so it goes through a lot of information, but we skip over some essential information that parents and students that are first-time college students might not know. And actually, since some other parents have been to college, but they went like 1,000 years ago, they might know that information anymore, and or it's just changed dramatically. So if you guys can do me a huge favor, if you can drop in the chat, and if you can let us know what grade you're representing. So if you can drop that in the chat for me, what grade you're representing tonight. So let's see what we have. We have some 11, 9, 11, 10, 11, 10. All right, a little bit of everybody tonight. That's great, that's great. All right, so if you could do me one more favor, and if you can drop in the chat if you are a first generation college student family, or you have someone in your family that's been to college and graduated before. So if you can drop that in the chat too, just so I can kind of get a gauge. So first gen. Okay, been to college just a long time ago. I know that's right, Miss Christine. First gen graduates. Okay, awesome. Been to college a while ago, went online. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so I don't even think I said what my name was, did I? Somebody said a long time ago. So my name is Nicole Mitchell. I'm the college and career counselor at Norristown Area High School. I've been a counselor for about 20 some odd years, 22, 23, something like that. I was at in the Allentown School District back in the late 90s at Deer High School. And I've been at Norristown Area High School since 2004. And served most of that time as a school counselor. And then in April of 2018, became the college and career counselor at the high school. And I also do college consulting outside of school. So I do speaking engagements, workshops, one-on-one consultations, all that kind of stuff. So needless to say, I enjoy what I do. And I've also written a book called Being Proactive is the Key. And it's a book that I wrote for middle and high school parents and students to help them not only just get through the college planning process, but also just to learn different things that are going on in your school as far as building relationships with the staff, how to get different types of classes and all types of things. And so if you want to get the book, it's on Amazon by Nicole Renee. But it is very helpful. It has a lot of different terms in there for you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share my screen and go to the presentation. All right, so our presentation tonight is the part one about the First Gen College Planning Workshop. What is the fuss about college? What is the fuss about? So we've been hearing about college all the time. And so I want to give you guys some contact. You can screenshot this or take a picture of it. If you need to reach me, there's my email address. I live on Instagram. So if you are a person that participates in Instagram, or if you're one of those people who are on there, but you're just a voyeur, you can reach me at NEHS College and Career Network, and also on Facebook and Twitter. And so you can also, if you are on Schoology, which all of the students should be there. These are the access codes for every single grade. So anything that I post on Instagram that is an ongoing event, that will also be posted on the Schoology account. Any kind of scholarships for seniors or just any other events. And then we have a YouTube page, we have a college and career website. And lastly, if you want to schedule an appointment with me, you don't even have to email me. There's a permanent link here. And if Ms. Sai, if you can get that link for me and drop it in the chat for our guest here, we greatly appreciate it. And before we keep going, we do have 3 counseling interns that are assisting us this year in the college and career office and the guidance office. So if you guys real quickly can just introduce yourselves. I know I just put you on the spot real quick, and let everyone know what school you're at and who you're working with. And if you don't want to turn your camera on, that's fine.
Hi, I'm Ms. Sai. I'm a student at Villanova University studying school counseling. I am Ms. Mitchell's intern at Norristown Area High School, and I also work with Mrs. Sedgwick at Roosevelt campus at Norristown. Thank you for being here.
Hi everyone, I'm Ms. Precourt. I am also a grad student at Villanova in the school counseling track, and I am one of the interns for Ms. Shaw in the guidance office, and happy to be helping Ms. Mitchell and the college career team with these presentations. Thanks for coming.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Lillo. I am also, surprise, a graduate student at Villanova University, and I am also helping Miss Shaw in the counseling department this year. So happy to see you all here.
All right, so thank you, ladies. So they will be also doing some of the presentations for the ones that we have moving forward. So thank you so much. So this is going to be the schedule that we're going to have for the next couple of sessions. So we're going to have this every 4th Tuesday at 6:30. So on the 23rd, we have the supporting the transition to college. And so that's going to talk a lot about the family support system and what parents can do to help students get ready for college, prepare their mindset for college, and just some of the things that may be experience. A lot of terminology that as you're going through the application process, or once you get accepted and you have to start making deposits and things like that, there are going to be a lot of terms that pop up that you might not know what they are. Okay. Then on March the 23rd, we will have financial aid basics. And so we actually have a group from Citizens Bank. They do a lot of financial literacy workshops for students. They're actually going to take over that workshop on March the 23rd, which is great. And then in April, we're going to have how to make sure the college is a good fit, because there is no perfect college or no perfect fit for a student. There are multiple colleges that can actually be a good fit for the student. So a lot of people put pressure on themselves that I have to find that school. Really, you just need to make sure that you find the wrong fit and strike that off your list, because a lot of people get that wrong fit and then they're kind of stuck and they have to transfer to another school. And that's something that we'll talk about a little bit later. And then the last session in May, experience and expectations of being a college student. And so those are our topics, and we'll kind of see how it goes. And if you guys want to go through a little bit through the summer, we might just do that too. So before we keep going, does anyone have any questions? I see some things in the chat, and maybe you guys answered those already. Yep. All right. So we also have our website here at the College and Career Center, and we keep all of our upcoming events. And so I just wanted to kind of go through upcoming events that we have that are going on at our school and outside of our school. So anytime that we get an email and we can put a little ad together, or definitely if someone has one, we'll put it up. So actually tomorrow, there's going to be a virtual job fair. At what time is this thing? From 11 to 2. So you guys have an asynchronous day tomorrow. So you might be able to slide in there. And then there are 3 other dates. There's the virtual HBCU college fair. So you guys will see a lot of virtual college fairs and college tours coming up. And it's really important that you guys engage in those virtual tours. Typically what happens is students will, visit campuses to see what the campus feels like, what the food is like, what the classes are like, what the students are like, but obviously we can't do a lot of that now. There are some schools that do allow visitors, but they will only allow maybe the student and one other person, but there's no such thing as buses showing up anymore. So everybody has these college tours, and they're actually pretty good. Some of them, a couple of them are not too great, but the majority of them that I've been on are very good and very informative. So they have different options where you can actually sit in a session, listen to the college rep, and ask live questions or put them in a chat, just like the situation that we have going on here. They also have some opportunities where you can actually make a 10 or 15-minute appointment with the college rep and talk to them. And they also have some videos. So your HBCUs or your historically Black colleges or universities, we'll talk about those on another session. So what I want to show you very quickly is our college and career website. Can you guys see my screen? Because it's saying that my sharing is paused.
No.
No, it's
Okay.
white right now.
All right, let me see what I did. I was trying to be fancy and messed up. Okay, we'll have to do that another time. Let me get back here and bring your shared window to the front. Resume the share. Okay, we'll do that another time because I'm not going to be real fancy. But basically on that website, and if anyone can drop that website into the chat, it would be greatly appreciated. The website has all the events there and the links that you can go directly to their pages. There's information about your counselors and all of that there. Okay, all right. So we're going to cover tonight any obstacles that first-generation college students may face, factors that contribute to first-generation college students and their success, what is college and why is it important, and the next steps for students. Okay. So why do we have a first-gen college workshop at NAHS? So if you guys can drop in the chat and let me know what your opinions are. Why do you think we are having a first-gen workshop at Norristown Area High School? So you can cheat because I did mention it just a little bit, but you can give me your perspective since you guys are the experts of Norristown business and news. So if you can drop that in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, you can totally do so. I want to make sure I'm not just talking at you all night. So if you guys are new to Zoom and you don't know where the chat button is, it's at the bottom of the page when you move your cursor at the bottom, and you can just click it and just type something in there. Okay, so help kids that don't have anybody to refer to, absolutely. Anybody else? To help alleviate some fears about the college application process, absolutely. Because it is scary, it's really scary now. Need to help to navigate all the different aspects and programs, absolutely. Anybody else? These are some great comments. All right. So everybody else must agree with what they're saying, or maybe they're cooking and they're on mute right now. But we just wanted to put something together for you guys to make sure that you feel supported and that you don't feel like you're asking a stupid question, or maybe you don't have someone in your family or in your network that you can reach out to. All right. All right. So some of the obstacles that first generation college students face when they go to the colleges is college readiness. And basically college readiness means that there are some programs or some things that can be put in place to help help a student be prepared for college. That could be a program like an Upward Bound program that you may have heard of, or the Gear Up program. A lot of you guys, especially that are in the ninth grade and that's the ninth grade, are in the Gear Up program. And that's a program that they have that comes into the school and they work with students on all types of things. College readiness could be test prep, advising as far as certain classes. And so some people feel that they're just not ready. You have financial challenges, instability, racial disparity, lack of self-esteem, difficulty adjusting to college, and family support. And so when you look at those things, some students that are either thinking about going to college or they're in college already, sometimes students feel very uncomfortable in the college atmosphere. Sometimes they feel like they don't belong there because they look at other people and say, these people that are here, they don't look like me. They don't know what I go through. They don't know what I experience. Or sometimes they feel uncomfortable because, especially if the person is a student of color, that people may assume that the only reason why they're at that school is because they're there on the athletic scholarship, or they got some kind of a full, merit scholarship, or full needs-based scholarship to go there, and that they really don't belong there. Some people, they can just tell looking at the people on campus that they have a different lifestyle than they live, just by their conversation and how they dress. And sometimes parents and students feel that they can't afford to go to certain colleges. So there are a lot of different things that they encounter. Sometimes parents and family members may be haters. So the kids, let me know tell the parents what haters are, even though they know what they are. How can your parents or friends or family be haters when you're talking about the college application process? Anybody? So sometimes when we're talking about haters, people, oh, okay, we got somebody that dropped a comment in. Let's see what they say. All right, yep, discouraging certain colleges, right? By telling people, oh, you can't go there. You're not smart enough to go there. Or you think that you're better than I am. You're just like me. You're not, you're not going to go anywhere. So sometimes you have that, or sometimes you have your parent or your aunt, you may be the kid at home that helps your parents do a lot of things or translate. And sometimes, you feel guilty about leaving because of the responsibility that you hold in the family. And so those are a lot of the issues that people have. And then the last thing is about people having to work, because most of the college prices now are so astronomical. And so most students do have to take out student loans. And so that's why you guys want to apply for as many scholarships as you can, right? And so sometimes college students have to work, part-time job, 2 part-time jobs, a full-time job. They may have to work a lot of hours. They might not be able to take their full course load. And then sometimes, they just won't go to school because of that reason. Okay. Then you have your factors that contribute to first generation college student success. And so you have your level of participation in high school and college readiness programs. And so that means that students are engaged in extracurricular activities, which is very important because colleges want to see that on your application, that you're participating in clubs, that you're participating in sports. And you don't have to put like a whole long list of schools there. A whole list of activities. They're looking for quality in your list. So if they see that you're part of the computer science, computer networking club, and you've held some offices and you've been to some conferences and you've organized some events and you've been in that club for 3 years and they meet once a week, that's more valuable than you having 3 or 4 events on there that you just participated in, once a month or once a year. They want to see your commitment to that particular thing. They also want to see that you have some what's called rigor in your schedule. And that's something that we'll talk about on another session. But rigor basically means how complex is your schedule? What kind of advanced classes do you have on your schedule? Do you have any honors classes? Do you have any advanced placement classes? And those are classes that prepare you for college and it boosts your grade point average. And so they want to see that you have some of those types of classes on there. And so that's what will factor into success, because if they see that you can participate in all these activities and have these classes and maybe have a part-time job and you can still maintain a very good grade point average, then in most cases it's going to signal to them that you're very good with your time management. And to me, that's one of the most important factors of your success in college, because in class and school, you guys are in class for about 35 hours a week. So can somebody drop in the chat and let me know how many hours a week do you think that you're in class in college? How many hours a week do you think you're in class in college? If you can drop that in the chat. I always love asking this question. So if you can drop in the chat, 40 hours, okay? So let's get some more responses. How many hours a week do you think you're in class in college? So in high school, you're in class for about 35 hours. So 5 hours a week of actual classes or 15 credits per semester. Okay. Anybody else? 35 to 45. Okay. 16, 20. I feel like this is the Price is Right, right? 15, 25 to 30, 20. Okay. So the answer is 12 to 18 hours a week in class. 12 to 18 hours. So that's like what, a third, or half, less than half of what you're doing now. So you have all this free time to figure out what you're going to do with it. Mom is not harassing you about putting up your dirty socks and putting them in the dirty clothes hamper. Did you take out the trash? Did you walk the dog? Did you do this? Did you do that? You're kind of in charge of yourself. Your teachers are not harassing you about classes or anything like that, so you have to finish, work on that yourself. All right. The other factors that they're looking at are your academic and social integration. So again, what kind of classes do you have on your schedule? How are you able to connect with the people on campus? And again, that goes to your college fit or your college list. When you're looking at colleges, you want to see what types of clubs and programs that they have on campus, so that you will feel comfortable there, so that you would want to integrate and be involved in the community there, because you're going to be one of the members of that community. All right. And then you're looking at personal characteristics and family support, so family, you want to check in on your son or daughter, call them, text them, DM them, whatever you do. There may be some money that you might want to put to the side, or maybe your favorite aunt, she can slide you a couple of dollars every month, to help you out. But support is key. And there's some students that don't want to leave home because maybe their families aren't doing so hot and they feel guilty leaving, and so that's the thing too. So, you want to encourage them and let them know that everything's going to be fine. And I want you just to go ahead and go on to school. So a combination of these factors will help them finish their college and obtain a degree. Okay. So does anybody have any questions so far? All right, quiet crowd. All right, so what is college? Can you guys drop in the chat? I know we've been talking about college for 20 minutes, but seriously, what is college? So you can either unmute yourself or you can drop a comment in the chat. What is college? So preparation for a specific field of work. Anybody else? Higher education, anybody else? Build your future, okay. All right, preparation for professional conduct, outlook, and knowledge. All right. More time to mature, absolutely. So according to the dictionary, these are not the dictionaries that the old heads or the parents on here, this is the internet dictionary. We had the little big fat dictionaries that you would have to flip and find things that kind of beige on the sides. So it says that college is an educational institution or establishment, in particular one that provides higher education or specialized professional or vocational training. So usually when we hear the word college, we always think of 4-year college, right? And that's not necessarily a 4-year path. Everybody has a different path, and there's different careers based off of what your interests are. All right, so I have a little video that I'm gonna run through here, and this should work. So let's make sure. Can you guys hear this? Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a widespread belief that the job market is just waiting for hordes of ambitious, eager young graduates to slide into high-paying jobs in the corner office. They just need to go to college, right? Well, the data tells a different story. Charts like this imply a correlation between higher income and additional education, showing on average that a person with a university degree earns far more money than the average person without a high school diploma. This reliance on averages and perceived higher earnings for having a four-year degree has fueled a college-for-all philosophy, causing educators and parents to encourage going to the university, any university, to major in anything in pursuit of social mobility and financial prosperity. This belief has increased college and university enrollment to an all-time high, resulting in 66% of high school graduates in this country enrolling in higher education right after high school. That's 2 out of 3. The problem isn't that we need more students to attend college. The problem is too many students who enter are not completing. For most college students, it takes too long and they simply lose interest. Others are juggling too much, or they discovered they picked the wrong major or attended the wrong institution for them. Since most students are told a university degree guarantees a higher salary, many delay their career planning until after college graduation, resulting in 62% of students reporting they feel disengaged because they don't see the connection between their coursework and their future career. And so today, only a quarter of those that initially enroll will finish a bachelor's degree. You see, our educational system is very well intentioned, but incredibly misaligned. The pendulum has swung too.
Can you guys see the video?
No.
No video.
Interesting. Can you see it now?
No, it just says success in the new economy.
So there's
Did you share a specific tab? Because if it's in a different tab, it won't show.
Yeah, let me try that. It's always something, right? All right, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's start it over. You can see it now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, it's open.
There is a widespread belief that the job market is just waiting for hordes of ambitious, eager young graduates to slide into high-paying jobs in the corner office. They just need to go to college, right? Well, the data tells a different story. Charts like this imply a correlation between higher income and additional education, showing on average that a person with a university degree earns far more money than the average person without a high school diploma. This reliance on averages and perceived higher earnings for having a four-year degree has fueled a college-for-all philosophy, causing educators and parents to encourage going to the university, any university, to major in anything in pursuit of social mobility and financial prosperity. This belief has increased college and university enrollment to an all-time high, resulting in 66% of high school graduates in this country enrolling in higher education right after high school. That's 2 out of 3. The problem isn't that we need more students to attend college. The problem is too many students who enter are not completing. For most college students, it takes too long and they simply lose interest. Others are juggling too much, or they discovered they picked the wrong major or attended the wrong institution for them. Since most students are told a university degree guarantees a higher salary, many delay their career planning until after college graduation, resulting in 62% of students reporting they feel disengaged because they don't see the connection between their coursework and their future career. And so today, only a quarter of those that initially enroll will finish a bachelor's degree. You see, our educational system is very well intentioned, but incredibly misaligned. The pendulum has swung too far towards college preparation at any cost and away from skill attainment. We even encourage a college-going culture as early as elementary school, with university pennants decorating second-grade classrooms, and we spend an exorbitant amount of time in high school getting into college. Education is core to our economy, but in order to guide our educational systems and maximize future income, we must understand this misalignment between education and our workforce. At some point in recent history, we have transitioned from asking the more important question of what knowledge and skills do you need to be employable and to contribute to your community, to now simply asking, where are you going to college? When in reality, not every degree is direct preparation for employment. With rising education costs, a shrinking job market, and the oversaturation of some academic majors in the workforce, graduates take positions that do not require the education they have received, and often with debt they cannot afford. In fact, this misalignment between degrees and job skills causes half of university graduates to be underemployed in what are called gray-collar jobs, and 33% of college graduates are still underemployed well into their 30s. We know that success in today's world depends on aligning a student's academics with both their skills and available job opportunities. Yet there is growing evidence of a skills gap in which many Americans are not receiving the essential skills that are needed. Recently, a survey was conducted to find out if the skills found within the local workforce match the skills that employers need in the new economy. We found that employers experience difficulty finding applicants with strong technical skills, as well as problem-solving skills, applied math skills, and basic technical training. Unlike 3 generations ago, having hands-on skills and perfecting what you're good at can be more valuable in today's economy than getting a degree in something simply to get one. In fact, when hiring, business leaders say a candidate's knowledge and applied skills in a specific field are more important factors than where the candidate went to school or their college major. The economy and the world have dramatically changed. In 1960, when taking into account all jobs in the American economy, 20% required a 4-year degree or higher, 20% were technical jobs requiring skilled training, and 60% were classified as unskilled. But what's the right percentage to meet the labor market demand for tomorrow? Georgetown University predicts only 33% of all jobs will require a 4-year degree or more in the future, while the overwhelming majority will be highly skilled jobs requiring professional and technical training at the credential or associate's degree level. The true ratio of jobs in our economy is 1 to 7. For every occupation that requires a master's degree or more, approximately 2 professional jobs require a university degree, and there are over half a dozen jobs requiring a 1-year certificate or 2-year degree. And each of these technicians are in very high-skilled areas that are in great demand. So while most jobs in the future will require some education and training beyond high school, the majority of occupations will not require a bachelor's degree or more. It was the same in 1960, the same in 2000, and will be the same in 2040. Very well intentioned, the recent college for all rhetoric is often misinterpreted as university for all. This message needs to be significantly broadened to a post-high school credential for all. Students at various educational levels have left school without essential skills, setting up our children for failure, costing them and taxpayers millions, all while the labor market is desperate for highly trained, skilled technicians. One of the essential purposes of education should be to help students develop the knowledge and skills needed to search for and obtain work that they find satisfying. Fortunately, today's students no longer need to decide between higher education or career preparation. It's possible and increasingly necessary to achieve both. So how do you position yourself for satisfying in-demand jobs? Let's say you were considering a career as either an electrician or a business manager. You would find that the average annual income for electricians is $53,000, only about half of the $99,000 average wage for management occupations. So at first glance, it looks as if getting a bachelor's degree in business is a no-brainer. But adding skills and ability into the picture adds a whole new dynamic. What if you have the potential to become an excellent electrician, but lack the skills and ability to be an excellent manager? Then you should be looking at projected incomes towards the bottom of the pay scale for managers and towards the top for electricians. You would then discover that electricians near the top of the pay scale make around $90,000, far higher than the income of a manager near the bottom of the pay scale at $44,000. Now, this is just one example, but the concept is true throughout all industries. The claim that you will make more money with an increased amount of education is not necessarily inaccurate, it's just incomplete. That advice is based just on the averages, but no one is perfectly average. Everyone has unique skills, talents, and gifts. Truth is, the income for the top individuals in a wide variety of technical jobs is far higher than the average income for occupations requiring a 4-year degree. Nationally, associate degree earners range between $29,000 and $76,000. While bachelor's recipients earn between $37,000 and $102,000. But this data only accounts for the 25th percentile to the 75th percentile of full-time adult workers. This means 25% of associate degree holders earn more than $76,000 annually, while 25% of bachelor's degree holders earn less than $37,000. Our world has changed, and the university degree is no longer the guaranteed path towards financial success as it was for previous generations. And even if you do earn one, that education alone may not be enough. In today's highly technical, knowledge-based economy, employers want to know what you can do and what you can do well, not just what degree hangs on your wall. And new and emerging occupations in every industry now require a combination of academic knowledge and technical ability. One without the other is insufficient. We need to ensure we're providing students with all the essential skills required to be competitive upon graduation. So before enrolling in classes or deciding what you're going to do next in your life, step one is self-exploration. Take multiple assessments and really analyze your talents and strengths. Step two is career exploration. Understand the jobs available, the income ranges they pay, and evaluate both the knowledge and skills they require. After researching all the possibilities, then engage in career planning by setting a flexible career goal based on your personality and abilities and not just your interests. This doesn't have to be what you want to do for the rest of your life, just set a goal of what you want to do first. Only then can you develop a skills-based education plan, including your tentative career goal with multiple education and training options, both inside and outside the classroom. This could include community college, military service, a university, volunteering, registered apprenticeship programs, industry certifications, or gaining work experience. There are multiple paths to success. This is especially true if you're entrepreneurial. 77% of students want to be their own boss. And creating good jobs while rebuilding America's middle class hinges on the success of small businesses and startups. The new secret to success is to create ample opportunities to explore and hone one's skills and to choose an initial career aligned with who you are. This alignment will help ensure one's position at the top of each pay scale. For the sake of our students, our families, and our country, we can't afford to get this wrong any longer. The time has come to redefine the goal for our students. Is the goal simply graduation or degree attainment? Or is the ultimate goal a relevant education to secure a well-paying career where they are both fulfilled and competitive in today's fierce job market? To ultimately secure a competitive advantage in the new economy, all students need a rigorous general education combined with applied technical skills, industry-recognized certifications, and specific preparation for employment. Will they be ready?
All right. So Dr. Fleming is, one of the leaders in the movement for University for All, or the concept of focusing on careers. So can you guys give me any feedback or comments about the video, whether you want to put something in the chat or you want to unmute yourself?
I'll chime in.
Okay.
This reminded me a lot of exactly, what happened to me going through college. I went to college in the 90s when everybody was pushing college, college, college.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about fulfillment. It wasn't about, figuring out exactly what you want to do. It was about getting that degree. And this is very helpful to understand that there is a different approach now. I didn't have help like you're giving right now. So I kind of just went through the motions, but it's very interesting that, not everybody needs that 4-year degree to ultimately get that fulfillment and get that career that's going to, pay them the wages that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this new approach. This is eye-opening, and I'm glad that it's going this direction.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a state mandate for actually all Pennsylvania public schools that we have. You may have heard the kids talking about smart futures, that they have to do these career assessments in class, or you may have seen the emails, because the state wants us to focus more on careers. And then when you see what careers you want to go into or match your personality, your interests, and your skills, then you can kind of see what degree, what type of education you need after high school to match that particular job. Okay, anybody else? So thank you so much. Is it Ms. D'Antonio?
It is.
Thank you so much. Anyone else have any comments that you want to put in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself? Either one is fine. And so Ms. McNeil agreed. This is really crucial. And I like this. She said, what do you mean by career? Can you elaborate? I mean, career is just what what you want to go, what field you want to go into. What do you want to do? Do you want to go into education? Do you want to go into cosmetology? Do you want to go into acting? You know, what is the career choice that, you know, 5 to 10 down the line, 5 to 10 years down the line, you see, you know, where you see yourself going. And so instead of me trying to explain all of this, I remembered I saw this video a couple years ago. They've updated it. And I mean, it's very insightful, because a lot of students will go to college because, one, they weren't allowed to go to college. They were told that they couldn't go to college, or families see it as a status symbol, or see it as a way out of a situation, or it means that your family is going in a certain projection. And so some students did not need to go the 4-year route. You know, whatever it was that they were interested in or skilled in may have only required a 2-year degree. And so then they end up going to this 4-year college. They hate it. I had a student one time, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, that was in the cosmetology program at Tech. And that girl was a walking billboard for cosmetology. Hair done all the time, makeup done all the time, the shoes. Every day I'm looking down the hall to see what she has on. And she's giving me makeup advice, you know, put your toner on, do this, do that. And so it was clear that that was her destiny. She was doing lashes before everybody else was doing lashes. And parents made her go to college, go to community college. And she hated it because that was not her skill set or her gifting. Now, if she wanted to start her own business, you know, it would have been helpful to take maybe business at the community college, but that just wasn't her thing. You know, so sometimes we force our kids to do things because we think that they need to, you know, that we want them to do certain things. And so these kids end up going to a 4-year college and end up dropping out. And then they get stuck with loans, you know, or they get this degree that we force them to get, and they really don't want to do that particular job, or they don't investigate. And there are a number of 2-year associate's degree or 2-year certification programs that people make a lot of money and are happy with what they're doing. They get good benefits. They're making a good living for their family. And in a lot of cases, they're making way more money than people that have a 4-year degree, depending on where they live and what they did with it. You know, so I want you guys to really look at that first before we start just sending people off to college. You know, you really want to check that out. All right. Let's see here. So it's where you're, okay, so it's where your passion is and where you find that you have some aptitude. Absolutely. How many 18-year-old kids know what they want to do? Exactly. How many of my 40-year-old friends know what they want to do? You know, and people change their minds all the time. So the more career interest inventories that these kids can do, we do have them in our Naviance program at school. And also the College Board, where the SAT is coming from, they have some interest inventories where they can kind of look and see different types of careers that they can look into based on that. And so that's just one of the pivotal things. We'll talk about that in another session as well. All right. So I got maybe 2 more slides, and then I can open it up for any questions and answers. Okay. So then you have your types of degrees, and they talked about it a little bit in the video. So you can decide that you want to get your 1-year certification. So you can go to a local community college and get your 1-year certificate in some area that is your passion or area of interest. And that certificate will get you where you need to go. So sometimes kids may go to the technical, Central Mako Technical High School, and they can take all of their programs and hours there and then get a 1-year certificate on top of what they got from the tech school. Then you can get your 2-year degree, which they call your associate's degree. And so you can get that also at a local community college. And so those 2-year degrees, sometimes students say that they want to go to a 4-year college, they want to go to a community college first and then transfer. We highly recommend, if you can do it, to get your 2-year associate's degree before you transfer to a 4-year college, because sometimes things happen and you might not finish that degree, or sometimes it makes it easier for you to transfer to a 4-year college. And we'll talk about all the transfer stuff at another time. Your 4-year degree is what they call your bachelor's degree. And so that's the traditional college degree that people talk about. But even with that, the 4-year degree, sometimes it may take 5 or 6 years to get that degree. So the key is to make sure that you can try to take the maximum amount of classes every semester, and also find out if you have to go to school in the summertime to be able to finish on time. Okay? Then you have your master's degree. So your master's degree means that you're going to get another degree beyond your 4-year degree, because there's some fields that you may go into that you can't really do what you want to do without a master's degree. So I majored in psychology. There's not much money that I can make in psychology with a regular 4-year degree. So I had to get a master's degree. So in most cases, it's supposed to take you 2 years if you go full time. But in a lot of cases, people have to do it part-time because they have families and children, your budget. And so sometimes it may take 3 or 4 to get that master's degree. And then lastly, you have your doctorate degree. You don't have to be a physician to have a doctorate degree. It just basically means that you went and you did more years beyond your 4-year degree. So some people can go right into a doctorate degree. So it can take you anywhere from 4 to 10 years to finish that doctorate degree. And then sometimes when you're looking at schools, you can look to see who has a combination of a bachelor's degree and a master's degree program. So when you guys are looking through applications, you may see something called a 3+2 or a 2+2 program. So basically it's some type of accelerated program that you can just go straight through and get your master's degree, which will save you some time and save you some money, okay? Any questions on that? So while I'm waiting for questions, so again, the video, these are the post-high school options that you have. You can go into the military, and a lot of kids now in our high school are going into the National Guard. They're finding that they're getting, they can go through the National Guard through the training, after high school, and then either the second semester or the next year go back to school. And we have a couple of students that are at 4-year colleges now. I have one in particular, his name is Marvin. He's not paying anything to go to school because between his grades, his financial aid that he received, and money from the National Guard, he's actually getting extra money because of the situation that he has there. So, some students are looking at that as options. You can go into the workforce, you can do the 4-year college route or 2-year college route. You can take a gap year. Everybody talks about the gap year. We usually don't recommend the gap year unless you are going to do something that is very structured. Like you're going to the Peace Corps or you're traveling somewhere, which those programs are fairly expensive. If you're taking a gap year and you're just not going to school that year, you're just taking a year off from school. And we really suggest that you don't do that unless you as the parent, that you're going to structure that student and make sure that they come back to school, that they have some good friends in their circle that are good influences that are going to keep them on track. So a lot of times we tell students, if you're going to take a gap year, then at least go to the community college and take a class just so you can keep your brain in school mode. Because sometimes, you'll start working, making some money, spending your money, buying a car, getting insurance, dating somebody, spending all your money. And then next thing you know, you get into debt and then you can't go to school because you've gotten yourself in a rut. And then the last thing are apprenticeships programs where you can work under somebody or in a program and learn a skill or a trade. Okay, let's skip all of those. So these are some things that you guys should be looking to kind of work on now. Depending, it really doesn't depend what grade you're in because I don't think I saw any seniors in here today. So they're going to be offering the PSAT exam, PSAT 10 exam in April. We still haven't locked down that date yet, but it'll give you an opportunity to be able to take your PSAT. Normally we have those in October, but we couldn't do it because of COVID. And then it was supposed to be offered actually today because we were supposed to be back in school today. So they had to cancel that. So the 11th graders can take the PSAT, which is a practice test. They can take this PSAT 10, but with the juniors, they usually are eligible for what's called the National Merit Scholarship Program, which means that they can be eligible to get a scholarship. So they won't be eligible for that, but they can at least get the practice, okay? You also need to start thinking about your senior year classes. So in the next couple of weeks, you'll be getting some information about scheduling for next year. So you wanna make sure you go through that program of studies and look at all the classes. And we talked to students about that this morning. And I did load it in the YouTube page. So if you want to hear more about that session, it's on our YouTube page, and it's called Senior Year Prep for Juniors, and it has today's date on it. It's about maybe 30 minutes. Virtual college tours, you definitely want to take advantage of those. College lists, start putting a college list together, looking at some summer programs. Considering upward bound programs. There's an upward bound program that we have through Montgomery County Community College that definitely helps students that are low income students and first generation students to get ready for college. And actually I work for them. I'm their college and career readiness instructor there. So they meet once a month on a Saturday, and then they meet 6 weeks in the summertime. So that's a great opportunity. And I'll send you guys all this links to all of this information in the follow-up email when the video is done. You want to sign up for the College and Career Schoology updates and Instagram account, because we do give out a lot of information there. Okay. And then this is the virtual college tours that I was telling you about. That's the link. Ms. Sai, if you want to go ahead and drop the link in the chat, you can. So there are 4 or 5 sessions, and then there is a STEM workshop, which is science, technology, education, and math. And then they also have a performing and visual arts session. So you definitely want to check those out. And there's a video in there for that too. So you guys want to look for the senior year prep video for that. That's in there too, on last week's date. Okay. So this is the end. So I'm back here on this screen here. So if you wanted to screenshot this, this is all the information that you have to get in contact with me in the College and Career Center, and also to get in contact with your school counselors. Okay. All right. So we have a few more minutes left. So I wanted to see if anybody has any questions or comments or anything, and it doesn't have to be what we talked about. And even though we're done at 7:30, I will hang around and answer every question that you have. Okay. And you can also make appointments with me, the parents and or the students, to kind of just go over. I've been meeting with sophomores and juniors that have been reaching out. I have some juniors. We meet every 2 weeks and just kind of start getting prepped for next year. So y'all pay a lot of taxes, so put your tax dollars to work and give us something extra to do. So do you guys have any questions? You can drop them in the chat or unmute yourselves. I don't need these glasses anymore. All right, so Ms. Precourt, Ms. Sai, Ms. Lilo, do you guys have anything that you want to add to this? Topics that we talked about today, and maybe there's some information that we can add from your perspective. Are any of you guys first gen students? I always meant to ask you that. Oh, you know, I'm so embarrassed. They're in class right now. They had to go to class at 7:15. I totally forgot. Yeah, so I tried to keep, I'm gonna keep these really basic, because the assumption when we do these is that people don't know anything about college. And so I wanna make sure I keep them as simple as possible. That's how we're gonna move forward with the rest of the next session. we're gonna do a lot of little definitions and things that you need to know about the college application process. But let me give you this, I see something in the chat. Thanks for all your help. I don't think they put the link in there for the college fair. Do you guys have a second to watch this college fair video real quick? It's like 2 minutes. All right, cool. I'll show you this college fair video that I was supposed to wow you with earlier. Okay. Can you guys hear this?
Sort the list by A to Z or Z to A.
Are you guys able to hear that?
Welcome to virtualcollegefairs.org. It's easy to get around. Here's how. First, click on the fair tile to enter the site. You'll immediately see a list of colleges. Which are you interested in? You can sort the list by A to Z or Z to A. If you already have a college in mind, search for it by name. The filter is really helpful. This is how you can narrow your results by location, majors offered, and other criteria. Once you find a college that interests you, click the heart icon. This will add it to your favorites list. On the day of the virtual fair, colleges will offer live Zoom sessions you can attend. Click the Live Sessions tab. There are literally hundreds of sessions to choose from. Because there are so many, it's best if you look through the sessions before the fair date. Use Filter to narrow your results. Use the All Times dropdown to see sessions by start time. Did you find an interesting session? Great. Click the Remind Me button. You'll then get text reminders, and the session will be added to your My Schedule tab. Each fair is 8 hours long. There's no need to stay the whole day. Instead, plan your time by using the session reminders you added. You'll find these in your My Schedule tab. Each reminder tells you how much longer before the session starts. When the session is starting, a Join button will appear. Click on Join to enter the Zoom session. Keep in mind, these are reminders, but not seat reservations. So don't delay. Some sessions fill up quickly. Click when you see Join. In addition to attending live Zoom sessions, here are 4 other things to do. Watch videos. You can do this at any time, not just during the fair. Schedule one-on-one meetings with college admission representatives. This is great if you have specific questions. Go to a college's profile page, click Schedule a Meeting, and then pick a date and time. You can also get advice. Click the blue chat button. This will connect you to a college advising expert from NACAC. You can attend a NACAC meetup. These are helpful Zoom sessions that provide general information about financial aid, scholarships, and other topics. To find a meetup, enter NACAC in the Search by College field. Remember, these virtual college fairs are for you. Use this time to listen, connect, ask questions, and pursue your college dreams.
All right, so I'll put that in the chat. So that was the big virtual college fair that's, that I showed you on the flyer. So it's gonna be coming up this coming Sunday. And someone in the chat asked me about the SATs. So the SATs are still going on, and the ACT. Let me put this in the virtual college. So the SAT will be held in March, May, and June. So the deadline has passed, I think, for registration for the March test, but students have fee waivers. Everyone in our school gets a fee waiver, which means you don't have to pay to take the SAT or the ACT. And also what that means, if you get a fee waiver for the test, are you ready? You don't have to pay for any application fees either. There are some random schools that will make you pay for them, but for the most part, nobody from our school has to pay for any application fees. So keep that money in your pocket. If you want to waste it, you can give it to me and I'll buy some shoes or something, or maybe a nice sandwich on Instacart since I don't want to go outside. Otherwise, save your money. So you get 2 waivers for the SAT, or you might end up getting 4 now, and then you get 4 waivers for the ACT. So we'll talk about testing on another session. But one suggestion that I will give you about the testing is to make sure that you do not take tests back to back. Meaning, if you're going to take the test in May, do not take it in June. Because in most cases, when you take the test back to back, you will receive the same score or very close. Because when you take the test, you're going to get a score report back. And so you can take some time to kind of go through your score report, and College Board now has this electronic portal that will give you more detail about your test. And so you can take that time and learn more about your strengths and your weaknesses. But if you take the test in May, you're going to get your scores back like 2 weeks before you take the next test. And there's really no way to kind of look to see where you need to be. So you can still take it again in August or September, but of course you want to try to get it out of the way, because we just never know. We do have some seniors here that did not, they were not able to take a test at all because they kept getting canceled. So we were able to work out some things with them specifically. Luckily, most of the schools were test optional, and some of them still will be test optional next year. So don't let your students tell you, and students, stop telling your parents, I don't have to take the SAT. You still should try to take it, because if you do well on it, it may result in you getting more money from the school. Okay, so try to take it, but we're not driving to Las Vegas or flying to Las Vegas, one, because we're not trying to use our coins to fly anywhere. We might not even have coins to go to Las Vegas, but I would not drive more than an hour out of your way to take a test, an hour and a half, because sometimes you may get to the test center and find out that the test is canceled, right? So you don't want to do that. So also, if you are taking algebra or geometry next semester, do not take the test until May or June, because most of the test is algebra and geometry. And if you are just taking algebra or geometry, your math score is not going to be too high, okay? So you want to make sure that you do that. So you can meet with me, you can meet with your counselor, and we can kind of advise you which test to take, and we can also get you that fee waiver. So should a junior student who is now scheduled for the March SAT at this time, or the junior, if you are a junior and you've already taken algebra and geometry, you can go ahead and take the March test. I would highly recommend, and people keep getting mad at me for saying this, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. We're offering the test at Norristown, but I would suggest you don't take it at Norristown, because we don't know, you know, it might get canceled, you know, because of COVID stuff. We may be in the building, but we still may not be, I don't know. So we usually tell students to go take it at Wissahickon or one of the school districts that's been in hybrid the whole time, because that's going to decrease the likelihood of them canceling the test. All right. So they have this thing in there now where you can change your registration dates and locations without a fee. It used to be a fee, so they're allowing some students to do that. But just kind of look to see what you want to do first. If you're going to opt to wait until May or June, that's fine. You just need to make sure that you continue to brush up on your math skills, because you don't want to lose that math. Okay. So any other questions? Because we are finished, because I promised you guys that we will be done at 7:30. But if you want to hang around, I will answer every question that you have. Okay, how many colleges should we apply to? Julian is just getting right down to business here. So Julian, you guys should apply to 6 to 12 schools. We try to get you guys not to apply any more than 12, but there's always a couple of people that have 20 and 25 schools on their list, and we have to scroll down on Naviance, all right? You want to try to focus. Don't apply to every school that sends you something in the mail. Yes, I know they make you feel special and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, Ms. D'Antonio. Thank you so much. Yes, they have changed a lot since the 90s. But you guys want to make sure that you don't fill out everything that they send you in the mail. When you sign up for the SAT and the ACT, your information is being sold to colleges for like 40 or 50 cents. So whatever information you put on that list, or if you applied for a college one of those forms that you fill out at the fair. That's how you get all that junk mail. And they also send you a lot of fee waivers, which that tempts you to fill out the application. But some of these schools are trying to become more selective colleges. And so the more applications that they get, it's gonna, like, you know how sometimes you'll look at a college and it says that they only take 20% of their students or 35% of their students. Well, they only have so much space. So you guys take, you learn stats and data in class. So the more applications that they have, it makes that percentage go lower. So that's what they're trying to do. And they're also just trying to get more people to apply. So don't apply just because you got those, because all the time that you're spending filling out that application to a school that you don't even know anything about, you could have been investing that time on filling out scholarship applications or spending more time on the essay for the top 3 choices that you have. So it's gonna be all about time management that senior year and your junior year. So you don't wanna waste your time, getting your ego stroked because so-and-so, they want you and they sent you all this mail. They're just they're a business. They're trying to build. So I'm not trying to hate. I'm just having a real conversation with you. Don't waste your time on that. Okay, what are some of the best ways to engage with the admissions office as a prospective student? So what you guys want to do with these virtual tours, you want to engage in these virtual tours. You want to go to their websites and see if they're having any information sessions and sign up for those sessions, because they do really track you. So when they send you an email, they have some kind of a, what they call a CRM system, or a customer relations management system. And basically what that means, you know how sometimes you'll fill out something and then when you hit send in your mailbox, it'll pop another thing, you fill that out and then they keep sending you stuff. And so it keeps you in their little funnel. And every time you click on things, or if you, go to pages on their site, they can track everything that you're doing and they want to monitor your interests. So you can do that when you go to the fairs. When you get cards from people, you want to get in contact with them. They're going to document when you're coming to their campuses. So you want to do that. Once they see that they're building a relationship with you, that will help you, because their job is to try to pull students that they think are actually going to come if you meet whatever the qualifications are that they have. Okay. When should you start filling out college applications? So you guys, college applications will start opening up in the summertime now, like August or September, just because they're open. But they don't have any deadlines for them to be due. And the earliest deadlines that they can really put on them are like September or October, because nobody's in school in August. But the common application, which we'll talk about at another time, that's an application that a lot of students are using now. It's about 900 colleges that are connected to the common application. So you fill out one application and then you can send it to multiple schools. So at least with the common application, what we're going to be talking to the students about in our senior prep for juniors workshop that we do every Tuesday at 12:30, we will be talking about the common application. And so they have like 7 general questions that they ask, and every 2 years they change the questions, but sometimes they'll keep some of the same questions. So if you want to, you can go ahead and create your Common App account now and look to see what those questions are. And then, but everybody has to do what's called a personal statement. You can write about your career goals, maybe something that happened in your life that, turned you into a better person or made you think about, history or whatever a certain way. And so we encourage the students to start on their personal essay first, because you're going to use that a lot, and you can always tweak that and try to take it in whatever direction people are going to ask you. But you want to make sure you put a lot of time into your essay and do multiple drafts, before you finish it. And so some students, we're going to get them started now on those essays. And even the little small short answer questions, you guys never ask us to proofread those. Those are the ones that have the most mistakes on them. So even though it's only 5 sentences, you should send us those too, just to make some minor corrections for you. Okay. And a lot of these things, these are some great questions. So we're going to go over some of these things in other sessions. Okay. Any other questions? Because this is my thing. I'll talk to you all night. Okay. All right. Well, any more questions? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right. So thank you guys so much for coming, and most of you stayed, which is great. And I hope that you got some information that you can use. I'm going to make sure you get this video. And then since you guys are already in the portal, you'll get reminders about the next date. So it's always going to be on the 4th Tuesday at 6:30. Okay. And if you want to make an appointment with me, I'll put my link in the chat. If you can avoid making an appointment for this week and next week, because we're trying to grab all these seniors that aren't finished with their applications yet or haven't started on them yet. So we're trying to save that space for them. But the way that my link works is that you can pretty much just, when you click on it, it goes right into my Google Calendar. So you can just make whatever appointment that you want. You can just keep that link and use it anytime. All right. So thank you guys so much. And I'll send you this stuff by Friday. All right. So you guys have a great, great night.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.